Hi everyone, so glad you're here with me today. And to the men out there, the subject may not be for you, but stick around anyway. The session is good for everyone. Our subject today is menopause, which is broken down these days into perimenopause and menopause. Perimenopause is the time during which periods become irregular, moods fluctuate, hot flashes come, and some experience vaginal dryness and also such things as memory problems. Menopause comes with the complete cessation of periods, but also includes the other symptoms. There's a lot of stress during these times. Many women are still working, raising children or grandchildren, and possibly caring for aging parents. There are other stressors that come over the years: illness, death, divorce. It's a time when women are really pulled in two directions, caring for family and/or working outside the home, but also longing for something deeper, more meaningful. They used to treat symptoms of menopause with HRT, hormone replacement therapy, but are now finding that this can contribute to strokes, blood clots, heart disease, and breast cancer. And did you know that stress and osteoporosis, another possibility during this time of life, are linked? Tension increases levels of cortisol, a stress hormone, and that means a loss of calcium. The weight-bearing postures can help increase bone strength. It's good to build up the wrist as well. This area is one that is most commonly fractured. Also, muscle loss can become a factor. So the asanas or postures can help with this. Balance poses increase our ability to balance well, which can lessen the risk of falls. Falls can result in injury, disability, or even death. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in our society. Heart attack risk increases after menopause. How can yoga help? It helps by reducing blood pressure, lowering stress levels, improving cholesterol readings, and bringing more oxygen to the heart. My cholesterol levels are lower since I've been practicing yoga regularly. One study by the Yoga Biomedical Trust found 83% of women found relief from menopausal disorders after practicing yoga regularly. In another trial at Harvard Mind-Body Institute, it was established that women that were involved in the practice of meditation, including yoga mantra, had a decrease in the intensity of hot flashes. As a personal side note here, since I have been eating healthier, I do notice when I indulge in processed foods, I have hot flashes at night that are just like those I had during menopause. Just food for thought. In addition, those that did yoga had reduced levels of depression and anxiety. Other research supports the notion that yoga can help during perimenopause and menopause. For those in the perimenopause stage, when periods are irregular and the emotional state is fluctuating, supported standing poses are grounding and helpful if balance is off, which it might be during this time. Yoga is not just good for the bones and muscles, but also good for our internal organs and glands, which play a huge role in the whole menopause thing. Inversions are good because they stimulate the endocrine system, especially the pituitary, which is responsible for regulating blood pressure, body temperature, and hormone levels. Inversions also allow blood to flow to glands in the neck and the head. So now we will move to the mat for our session. We begin here today in this position, taking notice of our breath, focusing on the breath, on the inhalation and the exhalation. Just noticing the flow of your breath as it moves up the front of the body. Noticing as you exhale that the back body will descend if you allow it. I'm using an eye bag today. Some people like this. Allows you to keep the eyes closed. Allows you to go inward a bit more. Focus on that breath. As thoughts come to mind, just allow them to move to the side as though it was a scene from a movie. Don't try to stop your thoughts from coming. Allow them to come and acknowledge them, and then allow them to move away. And then return to the breath. We attempt to dwell in this present moment without going over past events or projecting into the future or creating storylines, making judgments. We try to stay present right here. We know that worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, but it can take away today's peace. Begin now to just make your inhalation a little bit fuller, a little bit deeper. And allow the exhalation to be a little longer, a little more complete. Again, a full inhalation. A long exhalation. Once more, breathing into the abdomen, allowing it to rise up into the chest, pausing at the top and exhaling, allowing the lungs to completely empty, and then returning to your normal breath. And then we'll just allow the legs to come long as you remove the blocks. And if you don't have blocks in a bolster, you can always just start in the Shavasana flat on the ground. So we'll begin here and just begin by pointing and flexing the feet. Taking them a little further apart and making some circles. Big circles, and in the other direction. And then bringing your legs back to hip distance apart. And bring your arms behind you, letting the thumbs lead, and just extend the arms, extend through the heels of the feet. And just take a breath here, don't stop breathing. Inhale. Exhale, allowing the arms to descend with the breath. Just controlling that movement. Extend, bring the right foot to the floor. Extend your left arm and your left leg and reach, stretch to that side. Bring that arm down, that foot back. Extend the other arm and leg, reach. Bring that back down. Just let your knees sway side to side. Just feeling the glute muscle, noticing that. And then coming back to center. Take your arms at each elbow, extend the arms above the head. Either let them rest on the bolster, or if you have shoulder or neck issues that might bother you, you can rest them on your forehead. And just going through that extension of the sternum and the spine. And then extend your arms, extend your legs, reach through. And just allowing the arms to come down by the sides. Bring your hands straight up in the air. Interlace them. Reach the palms up to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders down on the bolster. Keep the feet engaged. And then take the arms apart and once more lengthen. Exhale the arms down. And we'll just set the bolster and the pillow to the side. And just keeping them handy where you can use them. And coming back down flat on the back. And we'll begin by just extending as we did on the bolster, just reaching through the heels and the fingertips. And then exhaling down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time and the knees into the chest one at a time, and just gently rock them. And while doing positions on the floor, attempt to keep the chin even so it's not jutting up in the air. Some people need a little pillow behind. And just rock side to side a little bit. Bring the legs back to center, widen the knees a bit, take your fingers, tuck them behind your knees and bring the thighs into the chest. Point and flex the feet. Bring the knees back together, bring them into the chest, hug them in, take a deep breath. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Take your left hand to your left knee, your right to your right. Draw this into the chest. And just feel a stretch through that left hip flexor. And then if you're able, you can stay here. You can always modify your positions. If not, if you can go further, just bring your hands through, interlace them behind the right leg. Push the thigh into the hand so that you feel that nice hamstring stretch. Point and flex the foot. Bring that foot down, and if you're able, just bring this in a little closer to your chest. And then release that back to the leg. Cross the leg all the way over. Take your left hand flat down on the side. Take the right hand and draw the legs over to the side. Inhale to center. Uncross the legs. Extend top to bottom. And bring the arms down. Bring the feet back to the floor. Cross the right leg over the left. Bring your right hand to your right knee, left to the left. Draw that configuration up into the chest. Feeling that stretch now through the right hip. And if you're able, just thread through, interlace, extend that arm, that foot up, and then point and flex the foot. And then bring that foot down, and if you're able, draw the other leg into the chest a little more. Bring that back, cross it all the way over. Take your right hand flat down beside you, take the left, allow that to turn the body towards the left. You can just move your head a little to the right. And then just coming back up to center and extending arms and legs. And then Bringing the arms down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time, knees into the chest. Bring your hands to the top, fingertips pointing down. Leave a little space between your legs and feet. Don't have them together. And then just coming around, making a little circle on the lower back. So just really warming up that lower back area. And it brings a certain awareness. We're always trying to keep that mind-body connection. And then coming around and coming back. And we always start our sessions with these slow stretches just to prepare the body and to prevent injury. Bringing the feet back down to the floor. Managed to get a little crooked there. And then pressing down with the palms and the feet. Walk your shoulder blades down so they come down the back. Push down with the palms, push down with the feet, which are as close to the buttocks as possible, and lift up into bridge pose. Setu Bandha. And then just slowly, one vertebrae at a time, allow yourself to come down. Now take your block, if you have one, and put that right between the thighs. You'll feel your knees move in slightly from the feet. That's okay, but we are stabilizing the hips doing this. So we're walking those shoulder blades down again, pushing down, and once again coming up into bridge pose. Bridge pose is a very good pose for menopause and perimenopause. And then just rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Remove the block, extend the arms, extend the legs. Exhale down. And just rolling over to the side, we're going to come up for just a moment to a seated position. We're going to bring the bolster, if you have one, or you can use blankets, and we'll be just sitting on the edge of the bolster, right at the edge of it. We're going to extend the legs. Straighten that out a little. We're going to extend the legs straight forward. We're going to have the toes pointing up, nice and even and parallel. We're going to reach up, interlace the fingers, extend the arms upward. Palms up to the ceiling, reaching, lengthening through the spine, releasing energy there. Exhale down. Bring your hands to the back. Bring the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest. Let the shoulders descend. And then move forward, keeping that extension. Lift the chest. And then walking back up, point and flex the feet. Take the feet wide. Take them as wide as is comfortable for you. And just let one hand slide down as you draw, as you extend over. Keep the toes pointed up. Just opening up that whole lung area. Getting a nice side stretch. And then coming back and going to the other side. And we're also balancing here too, as we're using this more narrow end of the bolster. And then coming back up, walk the fingertips out and lift the chest. Try to keep the back straight, the chest from collapsing as you lift up. Walk back up, bring the legs back to center. Bring them a little more than hip distance. Bring the big toes together. And then stretch forward. Bring them back up and windshield wiper them together. Back to hip distance, point and flex. And then we're going to put the toes to the ceiling. We're going to draw the right leg up. And we're going to wrap the left arm around it. Extend the spine up and allow your shoulder to come back. If you'd like to be a little more challenging, you can bring this to the outside of your. And your head stays with your chest, basically, not leading too much. You don't want to come way around like that. And then just coming back to center, drop that leg down, bring the other one up. Let the knee be over the ankle. Wrap the arm, extend the spine, twist. Or you can do a little more challenging in this position. And then we'll just come back to center. We're going to come down for just another few minutes to stretch the hamstrings. So take your belt if you have one. Any belt will do. And just come down on your back. Bring your right foot to the floor. Let your left leg come up at the arch. So we're extending the leg, we're pushing the thigh forward. We're lengthening the arms, not gripping the belt, holding it loosely, spreading the toes, pushing. As you engage and push that thigh forward, you feel the hamstring engage. Keep the right foot firmly planted on the ground. Take the belt, both sides, in your left hand. Let the left leg go out and let the right knee go out a little. Sometimes we do it where we keep it at the ceiling. Today we're going to let that right leg move to the side a little, sort of balancing us off here. Keep the sole way up at the ceiling. Bring the right knee up and the left leg up straight. Take both straps in the right hand. Let the left leg cross right over. Let the right knee move in. And feel a nice stretch through the side, through the IT band. Come back up to center. Just loosen your leg a little. Slide the belt to the rear, to the heel pad, and just extend up, stretch the toes. Let the arms be long. Draw that to your chest and extend back up. Perhaps you get a little more extension. Bring that leg down. Take the other. Left foot is on the floor, right foot comes up at the arch. Extend, lengthen the arms. Spread the toes, push, move that thigh forward. Let the hamstring lengthen. And just take both in the right hand, let the right leg drift off to the side, let the left knee drift off a little so that you have a bit of a balance going on. And then just bring that both back together. Take both sides of the belt in the left hand. Let that right leg move over to the left knee move over to the under to the right. Really feeling a good stretch. Coming back up, take the belt in both hands. Just move that to the heel pad. Stretch up, spread the toes. Draw the leg into the chest. Extend the leg back up. And then just releasing the belt to the side, and we'll roll over and we will come up to a cat-cow position. So we're going to come to table first. Shoulders directly over wrist, hips directly over knees. We're going to inhale with the head up, flat back. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale forward, head up. Exhale, round and tuck. And then tapping, coming back to center, tapping the feet. We're going to raise our left arm, right foot, extend. And then coming back, opposite side in sunbird. And then coming down, and we'll just come to child's pose, toes together, knees apart, and just rotating the wrist a bit. We know that the wrists are an area that are prone to fracture during this time, so we want to pay attention to those and always give them a nice little twist and a rotation. So we'll just come to a seated position for a moment. Extend the arms out to the side. Drop the fingertips down. Palms up, fingertips down. Just working those wrists a little bit. Palms up, fingertips down. And just rotating the wrist, and then in the opposite direction. Bring the arms overhead, interlace, extend up. And breathe. And now we're going to come up on our mat. So we're going to take off the blanket and come up to the mat. We're going to bring our blocks to the front of the mat. We'll begin in Tadasana. Feet are even and parallel, firmly planted. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the toes and spread them. Exhale, place the toes down. Once again, inhale, raise the toes. Big breath, exhale down. Inhale, coming halfway up, rising up on the toes. We know that during menopause, the balance can be off. We bring the hands above the head in extended tall mountain. And then exhaling and lowering the feet and the arms. I need you to move the board over a little. So from here, we're going to inhale the arms above the head. We're going to tuck the tummy back to the spine. We're going to hinge and come right down onto the blocks. Now you may come up at this level, whatever is good for you. The weight is moving forward to the balls of the feet. Head is hanging. Legs are very straight, nice and straight, strengthening the legs. It's a very calming position, good for people who are under a great deal of stress in that menopause age. And then just loosen the knees a little. Slide your hands up to your lower back, bringing the head up last. And then just letting yourself move into a baby back bend. Coming back to center. Once more, inhale. Fold. In Uttanasana. Folding forward bend. And then once again, loosening the knees, coming up ragdoll style, letting the head come up last. Inhale, round the shoulders. Exhale, back. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale the shoulders right up to the ears. Exhale, ha. Ha. Inhale up. Exhale, ha. Ha. Inhale up. Exhale, ha. Ha. Step a little wider than hip distance apart, right about here. Straighten the torso. Extend the arms out to the side. Reach for one foot. Come up. Exhale to the other. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale to the side. And coming up. We'll just take one arm down and the other to the side. So this is a time in life, the menopause, when the idea of reproduction declines or decreases, and spirituality increases. And coming back to center. We're going to widen the legs just a little bit more. First, bring your blocks up. Step wide. Now, you may have to stack your blocks depending where you come. The variation is pretty great between people. So we're stepping wide. Feet are even in parallel. Torso is straight. We're going to hinge again at the hips. We're going to bring the forehead down to the blocks. Going to rest the hands. Again, a very calming position. Allowing, as we said, for inversions, the blood flow to the pituitary. And just this calming posture, very, very calming. Keep the feet well grounded. And then just walk the hands back, come together, and set your blocks to the side. Inhale, exhale. We're going to step wide again. So we're going to go back into the position, feet even in parallel. We're going to turn one foot all the way out, the other one in slightly. We're going to extend the arms. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, bend that forward knee in Warrior Two. Looking out over the arm, nice and strong. Arms are at the shoulder level. You're keeping that back leg engaged. Front knee is 90 degrees. Bring the forearm down, extend over. Keep the arm in line with the head. And then coming up. Coming to center, bringing the opposite foot out, the back one in a little, facing your torso to the front. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, bending the forward knee. Gazing out over the hand in the strong Warrior Two pose, Virabhadrasana 2. And then bringing that front arm down, extending over. Ribs move up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to center. This age is also called the wise woman age. Bring yourself back to center. We tend to be more examining of the things in our past and healing open wounds. We become more intuitive at this age. It's really a good place to be. We just have to struggle with some of the symptoms of menopause. So we're going to just step wide again. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this pose. I'm going to do it first just alone without props. Going to widen to that stance again. We're going to move that foot out in the other end just as we did for Warrior Two. We're going to extend the arms. And as you're extended here, just pretend that someone's sort of pulling you back a little with that rear arm. So it tends to keep the torso nice and straight as you move into this position. And then you're going to reach forward and come down to where you're able. Extend the arm up above you in triangle. You can look up if your neck is healthy towards your thumb. Now you can also do this with a block. So again, reaching forward and extending down. We can use a block to support you. Now the props are important during menopause because sometimes the balance is off. So this may help to make you feel more secure in the pose. The grounding poses are good anyway. Let me show you how to do it with the chair, because if your balance is off, this may be even better for you. So we'll turn to the other side then. So we're stepping wide again. If you're using the chair, the foot's going to be right near the chair or almost under it a little bit. So we're going to turn that leg out all the way and turn the back one in, torso to the front. Inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, coming down to the chair. So as you see, there are many different ways that you can do this particular pose. And then coming back up to center and walking the feet together. Tapping the legs out. Once again, we're going to inhale, lift the toes. Exhale down. Inhale, lift the toes. Exhale them down. Make sure your feet are even in parallel. So we have started in that Tadasana, that foundation pose, where our tummy's tucked back, thighs are tightened up, fingers extend down, crown lifts to the ceiling. Taking a deep breath. Bring your arms up by your ears. If you have shoulder issues, leave them down here. Otherwise, bring them up close to your ears. Reach up out of the waist, extend up. Bend the knees. Come into Uttanasana or chair pose. We're sitting back as comfortably as possible. Then breathe. And then bringing the arms down, straightening the knees. And now we'll just come down to the mat again, to a table type position. I'm going to bring a block. You can also do it with the bolster. If you have a couple of bolsters, but we're going to do it with the block. So we're going to put that there, maybe a little further up. Okay, so let's come down to table. You may have to adjust your block as we do this. We're going to move the hands forward to come into that down dog position. Index finger pointing forward. Fingers are slightly spread. Don't hyperextend the thumb. Press down, so press all your knuckles in there. And then tuck your toes and come up and allow the head to rest. As I said, you may have to adjust a little on the block. So this is a supported inversion. And again, we talked about the flow of the blood to the brain. Just holding that pose for a moment. And then we'll come down to the knees, toes together, rest the head on the block. And then we'll just slowly come up. We're going to bring the hands down, come back to that table position we were in. Bring your left foot between your hands. Now, sometimes you have to assist your leg. When I first started doing this, I had to actually lift my leg to that position. That's okay. But this knee should be directly over that hip. And this back knee is back behind the hip. As you can see, it's going back. We're no longer in that table where we were right over the knee. We're here. And now I'm going to encourage you, if you're able, never do anything that hurts in yoga. If you're able, tuck the back toe. Let that come up. Keep that 90-degree angle at the front. If you're able, bring your arms up. And just take a breath here. Bring the hands back down. Drop the rear knee. Bring this one back. Bring the other leg forward. Make sure you're in a nice position there with the back knee, and the front knee is at 90 degrees. Tuck the back toe. Bring the leg up. And if you're able, come up further. If not, you can either stay where you were or just stay down at the bottom. That's fine. And then coming back down, bring the knees down. Take your bolster, bring it to the mat, or just rest in child's pose, but you can bring it, just rest your head. And then just turning the head to the other side. We always do, whatever we do on one side, we always do on the other side. And then just setting your bolster aside. We'll come back to table, move the hands forward, tuck the toes, and come up. Just letting the head hang, extending from the shoulders right down through the fingers. Drop the heels as much as you can. Walk the heels up and down for a moment. Come into plank pose. Keep the hips up, don't let them sag. Strengthening the arms. Shoulders directly over the wrists. Come back up to down dog. Walk the heels. Come back to plank pose. Drop the knees, drop the toes, move to child's pose. Rest the head. And then coming up, and we're just going to come to a seated position on the bolster. Length wide in a wide way. So we have talked in the past a little bit about the chanting and the benefits of the chanting. Some believe that it stimulates the meridians in the mouth, and we know that it can help to balance the two left and right hemispheres of the brain, charges the cortex and the nervous system. And we even know from studies with MRIs and such that it is able to decrease the gray matter in the brain. This is the area associated with Alzheimer's. So there's important evidence out there that chanting is very beneficial. So we're going to do 3 ohms, but first we're going to bring our attention to the second chakra, Svadhisthana. And the color of that chakra is orange. The symbol is a 6-petal lotus flower. And it is located right at the abdomen, right below the belly button. So we're going to begin by just closing our eyes first and envisioning in that area an orange spinning wheel. And as the wheel spins, it throws off orange light all through that area of the body. Allow the light to flow through as though it were a liquid, saturating that area. And younger women can benefit from this as well because it helps with menstruation, the problems that go with that, and PMS, such things. So it's good for everyone. Now bring your palms up, bring your baby pinky finger and your thumb together, press them together lightly. And that is the mudra to recharge and energize your nervous system. So we're going to sit straight and tall, and we're going to do 3 ohms, so we're going to inhale to begin. Keep your eyes closed, allows the palms to open. And again, envision the orange light at the abdomen, at the 2nd chakra. And then just gently opening the eyes. And remember when we talked about the chakras being part of the subtle body, similar, we discussed it being similar to the id and the ego, where we don't actually have a tangible physical thing, but we know that it exists. And we're just going to extend the legs and just tap the legs a little bit. And then we're going to lay our mat back down. We're going to come back down for a little bit more stretching before our Shavasana. So we'll just come down to our backs. And we'll do a little bit, some twists, because twists are good for releasing toxins from the body, but also good for releasing emotions. And since we struggle with the anxiety and depression during menopause and perimenopause, these things are helpful. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time. Press down with your palms, both sides of the mat, and just pressing down with the feet in the small of the back, so creating a slight pelvic tilt. Allow the legs to go right. Let the head move slowly to the left. Inhale to center. Press down with the feet in the small of the back, and let the legs drop the opposite way. Come back up to center. Bring the feet the width of the mat apart. Press down with the small of the back and the feet. Let the legs drop to the right. Let the head move away. Feeling a better stretch through the hip there. A different stretch. And then coming back up to center, pressing down with the feet and small of the back, letting the legs go the opposite way. Coming back up to center. Let both legs go long. Extend through the top and bottom of the body. Really taking a deep breath, really lengthening, and then exhaling the arms down. Take the sole of your left foot and place it just above your right knee. Don't press down, just let it kind of hover there. Take the left hand palm face down on the floor, the right goes to the knees, moving them to the right. Go only so far as you can without taking the shoulder off the ground too much. Squeezing out all those old stale emotions. Coming back up, lengthen. Take the sole of the right foot, place it just above the left knee, right palm down, left hand brings the legs over to the left. And coming back up to center. Extend the arms, extend the legs, exhaling down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Bring the knees into the chest one at a time, and just gently rock them. Bring the soles of the feet together, extend them up. Release down. And we'll just bring the bolster beneath our legs and the pillow beneath our head. And we'll come to rest. In Shavasana, or corpse pose, Shavasana sounding much prettier. And just rest here for a few moments. And just while you rest on the rug, I'll read a little something to you. Yoga is about clearing away whatever is in us that prevents our living more in the most full and whole way. With yoga, we become aware of how and where we are restricted in body, mind, and heart, and how gradually to open and release these blockages. As these blockages are cleared, our energy is freed. We start to feel more harmonious, more at one with ourselves. Our lives begin to flow, or we begin to flow with our lives. Bring your attention now to the feet, to the bottom of the feet, and let them relax. Let the toes relax. Clench the feet and then relax them. Allow your legs to be heavy. Notice your abdomen. Allow it to be soft. Relax all your internal organs. Notice the heaviness of the arms and the contact with the earth. Relax all your fingers. Let the back body relax. Release the shoulders, let them descend into the mat. Relax the back of the head, relax the forehead. Relax all the muscles of the face, letting them just go loose. Soften your eyes, relax your tongue. Rest your mind. And then just begin now to wiggle the fingers and toes. And just gently roll to your side and remain there for a moment. And just allow yourself for a moment, especially those of you in that menopause, perimenopause age, to just acknowledge the wise woman that you are. And just sustaining that sense of peacefulness and calmness, bring yourself, please, to a simple seated position. Closing the eyes, extending the spine. Bring the hands to heart center. Press the pinky finger and the thumb together. Inhale, and as you raise the hands above your head, open the 3 middle fingers, opening up the lotus blossom, bringing it above the crown of the head, allowing it to fill with blessings. Exhaling, bringing it down, bringing the fingers together and the hands into the heart center. Lower the chin. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Tyler.
We also finished early.
Good deal. All right.